Here we go. Do we hit the eerie music now? There's our copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. That's for the algorithm and forever, or for whoever else it may concern. Am I getting choked up on my words here already? Jeez.
For the algorithm.
All right, let's kick down our countdown. Count. Can't talk. Camera activated. Intro wasn't too bad there. Doing things a little different tonight. Yeah, we're trying some pre-recorded. It's a little late here. Figured nobody be up. I'm up though. I'm up for it. Why not? We got some Bigfoot news. There's always some Bigfoot news. Sometimes it feels like there's not much going on in that world, but there is. I'm still processing my last trip. Finally got the first video out. Hopefully you check that out. I want to thank everybody for supporting that. I was pretty happy with the turnout of you all out there. But one thing, it uploaded at like 360. I was like, what? What happened there? I don't know. Maybe it was because some of the footage I was using, maybe the game cam footage, the night vision, and the thermal footage caused it to upload at that quality. So that was a punch right, you know where. And yeah, learning lesson there. Where's my punch at? Oh, bummer. Should have been a louder punch than that. Ooh, yeah, it was more like that. But anyway, it is what it is. And yeah, we'll get into some interesting. I got some updates. Maybe you remember not too far back, we did a stream and we were featuring a Bigfoot game that's supposed to be coming out. Well, there's an update on that. And we'll have a look at that. Let's see what else. Bigfoot making the news somewhere else in California, it looks like. We'll check that out also. There's some recently submitted Bigfoot reports. Oh, yeah, some from California as well. So we'll touch on that. Yeah, we're here in Cali. Crazy Cali. Killer Cali. Jeez. So much going on. Just here in Los Angeles. It's nuts. What else we got tonight? Possibly some maps. We'll have a look around Cali. See what some of the live feeds are looking like as I hear sirens. Mike picking that up. Anyway, What else? I'm checking here. Yeah, there's quite a bit coming out of California, Bigfoot related, and I'd like to touch on that. Yeah, because it seems like the East Coast seems to be getting all the reports. Down south, everywhere but here. It seems like the Pacific Northwest. We're there's reports out there, but it just seems like all these other states. I see a lot more reports coming from out that way. Find that interesting. Do you? Hmm. Is Bigfoot kicking it out east more? Oh yeah, motorbikes racing. Is the mic picking that up? I wonder. I'll have to go back and check that out. See how good this mic is. Hopefully, it's not picking up some of the noise coming from upstairs. It's calming down. We're surrounded by neighbors here. A little too close for me. Like my neighbors way out. And yeah, Bigfoot. We're gonna get into it right about now. Let's see, can we share it? Look, there's some new features here. Speaking of new features, also there's I've seen YouTube switch some stuff up. Um, even some of the fonts on their letters, and what else did they change? They're doing quite a few changes over there. I've been keeping up with some of the stuff, and it's pretty cool. Um, have you been checking out some of the new features? Are you using them? Let me know. I want to know what you're doing. What you're doing on YouTube. I'm learning little by little. So there's some new features here on Riverside, which we'll test out here. Let's see. Is that working? Can you see that? So I have some of the same, it looks like very similar to it's our basic emojis. And it's very similar to like the little sidebar emojis on YouTube. And then I have this raised hand. I don't know if you see that hand pop up on the top of the screen there. I don't know what that's about. Maybe if you need to stop somebody. Let me check that out again. Let's see, it did something there. Maybe it's like hold, I'll be back. Or trying to stop somebody in the chat. Or maybe even a guest or something. Still waiting for my first guest. I have several people that have said yes, but we still haven't, lined things up. What's up? Who's going to come chat with me here? We've had a couple people on, but it was just random. It wasn't a scheduled thing. And scheduled guests, there. I guess I'm booked for a couple things coming up. Maybe some Midwest Night Watchers. It seems like we'll be rapping with them again. That's always fun. And then Squatch and Holler. We finally connected and got something set up. I got to check my schedule again. See what did I write anything. I got to remember to flip the calendar. Also, I got a little cryptid calendar. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're officially in October. Yeah, I like these vibes of the year. Fall vibes, October, Halloween, going on into November. Yep. So, looks like I should be able to do everything else if I remember. We'll go ahead and start off with some of the news, some of the squatchy news out there. Let's see. I have to find my. Here we go. So we're talking about a video game earlier, and let's see here. Just to be sure, we will do it like this. Bam! There it is. You remember that? We checked out the trailer. And if you didn't, then we'll check it out again. I think we did it twice. It was just so fun. and I'm not a gamer at all. I used to, be up in the arcades and playing Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all that. And even before that, the Nintendos, but now it's just on a whole other level. I stopped keeping up years back, but if I were to play a game, this one would be it. And we'll have a look here. Let's see if we could pop this on.
For centuries, they searched for him. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti. Known by many names, seen by few.
Almasty. It's in Russian. Picking berries. What are those? Huckleberries? Those thimbleberries. Thimbleberry.
Now, live life as the legend.
Uh-oh, he's going in portal.
You are the unseen guardian of nature's deepest secrets.
Going in the portal. Yeah, I could squatch out and play this for a bit. Live stream it. Y'all would watch it, right? Look, let's see if they show it. He 411's a camper. I seen a clip where he
Step into the life of the unknown.
Squatch Hawk.
Where every step is a mystery, every howl a legend. Welcome to the world of Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah. November 3rd. See what's happening in November. Yeah, I could wait. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to play or if you'd like to see me play that. So yeah, a little update on that. That's fun, exciting, right? Here's a little more information on that. You can check it out here. Just look up Bigfoot Life. And yeah, again, a little update there. Next, we're going to jump on over to, let's see, can we do it? Yeah, we got this guy. You guys seen this guy? Guess he's out in New York somewhere. I don't know where he's from, but several of you out there have touched on it. Yeah, he's got quite a situation going. I guess he's got a dead Bigfoot and he's been displaying it at a carnival. And let's see, Bigfoot corpse is found decomposing by campers who claim DNA finally proves there's physical evidence of hairy beast. And there you go. Kind of looks like a Liver King or something. That's who comes to mind. Oh no. Yeah. But I heard he's been cashing out over at those fairs. Let's see here. New map. Anyone check this map out? It's a little difficult to work there. So you could see the zooming in and out. You could do it from here. And it goes by Bigfoot sightings and density of the U.S. with biomes. Just another database I thought I'd share. I don't think I've shared this one. And I don't use it too much, but, something to look at. If you like to geek out on maps, I know some of you do. This particular map, it seems like a lot of the reports in California here, as you can see, are concentrated around the Sierras there, which is not surprising. But I thought I'd see a lot more up on the north coast. Seem pretty spread out there, which, yeah, Bigfoot would be smashing through all those areas there for sure. But I thought I'd see a lot more dottage there. Let's see. Here we go. Some more news. Bigfoot news here. Oh, it's playing for us already. Let's get a little volume.
An AI-generated Bigfoot on the loose in Folsom. Don't be alarmed. Take a look.
Hey folks, Bigfoot here in Folsom, California at City Hall, headed to Lake Natoma because Folsom's distinctive by nature. Let's roll. Soak it up. Rainbow Bridge, Lake Natoma, all distinctive by nature. And hey, this fur is basically waterproof, mostly. Bro, paddleboarding sounded chill, but my feet are like size 24. Rainbow Bridge back there is holding steady. Me, not so much.
Well, they mentioned
Check
the
out
prison.
Old Glory behind me. Love that thing. I'm as American as it gets, and my family's been here like hundreds of thousands of years.
Old school. I think it's his voice and just that smile, right? So we showed you this when the city released the promotional video last month. Way to go, Folsom, showcasing Bigfoot giving a guided tour of the city. You see him going to the zoo, swimming Lake Natoma, getting ice cream, zip lining. Social media video created by Chris Shepard. Shout out to him, the city's communication officer, uses generative artificial intelligence.
I was able to produce the whole thing within about an hour and a half worth of time, and it ended up being pretty funny, so it took off.
Give Chris Shepard a raise, City of Folsom, for coming up with this. It's awesome. Having garnered hundreds of thousands of views on social media, Clip is the latest instance of how state and local officials are increasingly turning to AI to boost tourism on a budget. All right.
Yeah, Folsom. Right?
Week as a member of the Navy.
There. That's an old worlder, right? The prison there. I believe it's all like it looks like a castle fortress. Let's see where we at next. Let's stop there. Where am I at? Nope. The computer's trying to connect to my phone. No thanks. We'll cancel that. Got a little message there too. Let's see. Yeah, definitely a different vibe when pre-recording. Obviously don't feel the live chat and everything, which brings a whole other energy. And but we will try to premiere this. Yeah. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. Any other Bigfoot stuff? Yeah, we got the reports we'll get into. Let's have a quick look around the Southland. See what let's head up to Mount Wilson. Can we do that? Oh, that's LAX. Here we go. And I don't think I'm sharing that properly. What happened? There we go. Over here. Boom. Nope. Aha. Have a peek at the Southland there right quick. Mount Wilson cam. And, whoa. Got a little glitchy there. You know, earlier tonight I was driving home from the shop. And we'll get into some dark and sad news from the shop. Maybe, depending on how things flow here. But, yeah, I was driving on the freeway and noticed this ball. It's kind of reddish. It looked like almost like a comet, but without the tail. It didn't have so much of a tail. So maybe a meteor. I don't know, but it was pretty low and it was cruising pretty slow too. It gave me a chance to like spot it and really check it out. And I was like, whoa, I thought maybe it was going to break up or maybe eventually grow a little tail, but it didn't. And I was like, and it kind of just went out of sight, disappeared. And I was like, whoa, that was really low. And I've seen those before. And I don't know if there's like a meteor shower going on. I tried looking up a few things. I didn't see anything at the moment, but I seen like 5 days ago up in the Bay Area and some reports out here, people noticing like a fireball, some sort of meteor or something like that. But this one was pretty cool. But then my brother hit me up a little later. He's like, hey man, I seen this. I was like, yeah, bro, I seen it. Cool. So I'm glad he saw it too. He was on the freeway also. All right. Looking a little funky there. You got a layer of funk going on there. Actually, it's going on right above me now. And let's head on over to, should we head on up to, yeah, why not? Yosemite. Let's do Yosemite next. Just because it's so mysterious and beautiful and there you are. Let's see if I do it like that. No, I gotta do it like this. Oh no, do it like that. We're gonna do it like this. Let's go to High Sierra webcam. That one has a pretty good visual. They added a few new cameras to this site too, y'all. So let's open her up. Yeah, I got a few more layouts here, different layouts. Like, boom. We didn't have this little circle option like this before. So that's pretty cool. So I'll show you the other ones they have here like that. Like this. Like this one. Yeah, High Sierra Cam there up in Yosemite. And we're going to take a chance here. You might get a Bigfoot camera bomb. Bigfoot's somewhere up there. They're out there in the Sierras. Maybe they're right behind the camera. They got a little spot, little hut there where they hang out. All right, check it out, y'all. We have a, what is it? Shop spread shop. Spread it on your shop. Yeah, get your BD merch. Get your Bigfoot Dwarf merch. We got one. I'll call it a prototype. It's actually my logo that I use for the channel here, and it's a Bigfoot holding a baby Bigfoot, and that baby Bigfoot's holding an orange orb. just in case anyone was interested in what the logo is. But there it is. Unclickable links. Forget how they are clickable, but only for guests or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. You could try to click that link, but if not, you could take a screenshot and punch that into the search engine. And I'm in the works of trying to figure out how you get it on your shelf. I know some of you out there got that on your channel. You got your little merch shelf right under your videos or channel. And some of you insert them on the videos and stuff. Caught myself there. Uh-huh. All right, Yosemite. Let's have another look. Just check out some of the other cameras. Let's see. Let's go over to. Well, there's El Capitan. That's what we call the El Capitan Theater here in Hollywood. The one on Hollywood Boulevard, right next to where Jimmy Kimmel. He's back on, huh? Oh, go Half Dome, Yosemite Falls. Yeah, so the new camera is the Wawona Dome. I like that. It's a pretty cool camera there too. It's a nice little view. Peep it out. You can see a nice ridge in the background there. So if there were maybe a family of Bigfoots doing the ridge walk, you might be able to see them there. Some silhouettes. Or a big old black blur just in front of the camera there. Somebody's cursing. Let's see. Anyone heard of the mummy, the giant mummy found at Yosemite? Dave was talking about, he had mentioned that a while back. I think it was in the Bigfoot 101 series. Yeah, about the mummy at Yosemite, and that I don't think that the National Park Service has anything on it anywhere, but they do. I think if you go to the website, they have a section where they include some of the little interesting things about the park, and talking Yosemite in specific. Yeah, they bring up the mummy. What else did they bring up? I know the mummy stood out to me, but there is something on there, Dave. And Dave, I know you're not here, so we'll roll one up anyway and light it for you. But yeah. And also just a little south of Yosemite, Dave's been getting into the whole Dinky Creek series, which I've been enjoying. I've been knowing about Dinky Creek for a while through Dave. And yeah, it's just a weird spot. Got to check that place out. I know some of you, we got some homies out that way. I know Cryptid 559 is out that way. And then rest in peace, homie Sonny was out that way. Who else is out that way that we know? There's a number to the hotline. Yeah, you could call me direct. Live and direct. I hear national parks they're closing, right? The government's closing down. Just heard news about that. So much news, so much I could get into. We were following some of the plane crashes. There was one not too long ago. I'd say maybe several weeks ago, maybe about 3, maybe a month, maybe less. And yeah, it was like these special night op guys, and it happened up in Washington. Made me wonder, were they like on a mission? What was going on? It was just an accident. Pretty weird. And that was one of the last. And so yeah, that one had to do with what would you call it? I don't know what branch of were they military, or I'm not sure, but yeah, some sort of special ops, and I believe everyone on board passed. So condolences. I can't speak tonight. We're getting started back up with this, folks. Cut me a little break. Yeah, it's just All right, let's head on over to, let's see. What do we got next? Let's get into some of these reports here. Let's head on over to, let's do BFRO first. Why not? Boom. All right, are we sharing this? No. Let's share this properly. Boom. Un momento. I'm throwing my hand up there. Yeah, let's go here. And there you are. We're going to head on over to, look, this is interactive too. Mexico doesn't light up. I was just listening about a few Mexican Bigfoot reports through Dave also. I was taking my 101 classes. Oh, that's tiny. Let's go like that. So we went to recently submitted reports here on the BFRO, and as you can see there, this was last night when I noticed some on the Bigfoot mapping project Site 2, which we'll get into, and they actually added another one, and I'm talking California here. And yeah, I got excited. I wanted to share this like breaking news last night, but we're still breaking it here, right? Breaking it back in. And let's see here. We'll go and get into this. So there's a lot of recently submitted reports. Like I said, check it out. You'll see a lot of them from the East or different states besides Washington. You know, you got to give it to them. But got a couple there from Washington. Let's see, there's another California there, Yuba County. Y'all know about the Yuba 5. It's a weird case there. Missing persons case. And I really enjoyed the look. Tulare. How do you pronounce it? Tulare. And Ohio howls heard by campers in Kern Canyon, 15 miles north of Isabella Lake, or Lake Isabella. And I've actually camped there before when I was a kid. And Sweetly Morbid Bear, seen you post a video today that was super cool. Meditation at the beach. We talked about Isabella Lake, and I'm hearing more and more about reports from there from back in the day. But look, this is July 2025, and y'all know the Ohio howl sounds almost like a siren. Should have that one queued up. And see here, Yuba County, a little bit more north into the state. There are several incidents 2 miles west of New Bullard's Bar Reservoir. Them reservoirs. And let's check it out. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, quite a long report there. And there you go. Sierra Nevadas, We're just mentioning that. Oregon Hill Road. It says here, let's see, what's the date on this? 2016, so it's a throwback. It says location details, 17193 Oregon. He gave the whole address. Oregon Hill Road, we own 12 acres. 12, not bad. And behind us was miles and miles of BLM. Yeah, just like up in our place in Oregon. Let's see, or the Tahoe Plumas National Forest. Awesome. It's awesome to have as a backyard there. It says, while living in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, I observed a Bigfoot on my property late one night in 2016. My husband and I had been observing a meteor show. We're just talking about meteors right now, weren't we? Meteor shower. And once we were ready to go in, I shined my flashlight into the woods just beyond our garden area at our home. And that's when, looking back at me, I saw eye shine. Ooh. Having lived in the woods for some time, by then I'd seen another eye shine, but this was nothing I'd ever seen before. There were huge, wide-set pair of eyes, and whatever it was intelligent enough to know that I could see it and put its head behind our fence post to hide. We observed it for probably about a minute after that, and after that, just hiding behind the fence post and peeking out. At the time, my husband was armed with a shotgun. But he was like in a trance and wasn't able to take a shot at it. Oh, bro got zapped. Then in front of our eyes, suddenly, it was almost as if the thing had folded itself up and rolled out of the area down into a gully. And then we heard branches breaking as it bipedally walked away into the woods. Yikes. Where's our, we got it right here. Where's our bipedal walking? It says also noticed we had heard whistles and tree knocks. Oh. And bipedal figures walking throughout our forest multiple times previously. Yikes. My husband also had a Bigfoot encounter during the day when he had traveled down a logging road and ran out of gas on his quad. Oof. Not good. That must have been scary. This is other witnesses. Oh, her ex-husband seen it too. Was with me. All right. So we all get along here. I totally get that. That's always nice when you could do that. Other stories, multiple incidents have occurred with my neighbors and some sightings, and some just hearing things that they knew had to be Bigfoot related. Time and any smells. I'm really curious about the smells now. I've had it happen a couple times recently, pretty much almost back to back too, on this recent trip. And don't worry, folks, we're working on part 2. It's going to be like a 2 and 3 to that. We're not done with that journey yet. And I just got hit up. Congratulations to Jonathan Easley from Western Bigfoot Explorations and Nikki Colon from Sasquatch Secrets for, I think it was both of their first times doing a speaking engagement. And Jonathan's I'm sure he touched on Dr. Meldrum. He got to do a video with him and everything. So I know they, were friends, and yeah, so I know he felt that loss there. So yeah, condolences to all. And yeah, Scott was another one, Squatch America, and so many recently this year. Could name several, and that's always a bummer when that happens. Let's see, where were we? Time and conditions approximately 2 a.m., very low light, and a moonless night. Environment heavily wooded with pine, cedar, madrone, high water table, nice, with a huge, huge lake, creeks, and rivers throughout all throughout the area. My kind of place. Let's see here. Boom. All right. And report 78946 Class B submitted by witness Lauren Maple. Back in July there. Let's see. What do we do? Maybe I could do it like this. There we go. I was a little hesitant to click that. All right, let's go to the more recent one here. So here, the SoCal, September 2025, San Bernardino County. You know, we bring that up a lot. It's our neighboring county here to Los Angeles. And it says it's a Class B also. Hikers hear distinct Sasquatch vocalizations near end of Mount Baldy Road. And, you know, the notorious Mount Baldy. We bring that up quite a bit. I've been, it's a mountain I've been wanting to go explore. And yeah, just a lot of tragedies have happened there. We've gotten into it on previous live streams. Everything from like the actor Julian Sands that went missing there and then later found like a year later. I think even my brother he's done, Devil's Backbone and all that. We shared clips. So my brother's hiked it. I recently seen a YouTube video with a guy showing some of the areas, knew a lot of history. I guess he had grown up in the area and he was showing places around, but there's this homeless dude living by one of the trails and he's not nice. They say he looks like a worn out Popeye and he's assaulted people, he's threatened people, and they haven't done anything about it. But the video was a couple years old. Maybe the dude's gone by now, but yeah, scary stuff. Doesn't surprise me. All right, let's see. Let's keep it out here. Yeah, quite extensive there. All right, summer, September, date 9th. Got the coordinates there. Mount Baldy is the nearest town. Mount Baldy Road Highway. And then observed Tuesday, 9/9/2025. I drove up to Manker Flats to hike the Mount Baldy Bowl to Devil's Back Trail. Or the Devil's Backbone Trail. I'm telling you, I've been slipping up tonight. It's all good. We're going to keep it pushing. Keep moving, yo. It was approximately 8 a.m. and the weather was approximately 55 to 60 degrees. At the trailhead on Mount Baldy Road, I exited my Jeep and walked to the back of it to prepare my gear for the long hike. As I was opening the tailgate on my Jeep, I heard an extremely loud wail coming from what seemed like the end of Mount Baldy Road, which is approximately a fourth of a mile north of where I was. The scream produced a strong emotional response from me, and the sound went on for approximately 10 to 15 seconds. I captured a video, awesome, that has a part of the scream and dogs from the 2 or 3 neighboring houses nearby. The scream made me freeze and made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Yep. Sounds about right. I needed some time to think about what I had heard before I started my trek. Let's see. There I is. All right. Better if I do it like this. I have been a police officer in Los Angeles for approximately 9 years and work on the other side of the freeway from downtown LA. I've never experienced the rush of emotions the whale screamed caused. There were approximately 15 other vehicles parked where I was. It was a moderately trafficked area even during the weekdays. I'm not sure what made the scream or wail. Maybe it was someone call blasting. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. I'm an avid hiker and camper when life permits and have never heard this type of noise or had a reaction to a noise like I did with this one. I did find a possible footprint on a nearby peak approximately 2 years ago, but decided it was nothing. The footprint was at around 5,500 feet of elevation on Sunset Peak. I was reluctant to share this, but was convinced by my girlfriend because the sound made her uncomfortable even through a phone speaker. Whoa. And it's thanking him there. Thank you. I hope to hear from you all soon. Let's see. He was the only witness. I was gathering my hike. Yep. All right. About 7:45 a.m. Mount Baldy. All right. We got through that one. Yes. Should we push for another one? Let's see. There was that third one. I didn't read all that. Where'd you go? Maybe it was this Yuba City one. Oh no, we read that. It was the where did you go? Trying to remember which one it was. Do y'all remember? There we go. Tulare, Ohio House. And it was this year, July, 4th of July. So that was I was here, and then the following day I drove up to Bluff Creek. And we've been talking about Kern County, and on my way down, I was listening to this guy's Sasquatch Chronicles. He was sharing his encounter, and he was out of Kern County there. And we brought that up because of the Kern County video where it's walking along the highway there. And this one also I see already, Sequoia National Forest. Boom, let's get into it. River Kernville, California. Road Mountain 99. And this is quite an extensive one there too, which is good. We like to hear details. My wife and I were camping in the Sequoia National Forest at Fairview Campground next to the Kern River. And this is good also because I'm sure like Dinky Creek and all that is not too far from here either. For the 4th of July weekend, it was just her and I and our 2 dogs. We had wanted to get away from the noise, of the fireworks in the city, Bakersfield. Oof. For the dog's sake, oh yeah. Feel you on that. With the big busy holiday weekend, the campground was at a full, I figured, you're not going to get away. And I hear it gets noisy up that way with certain campers too. It sucks. full occupancy, but was fairly, oh, cool, was fairly quiet except for some laughter in some of the campsites around. We were just sitting outside the RV with our dogs. We were talking. In the distance, we started hearing long moaning howls echoing down the valley, seemingly from the mountainous ridges surrounding us. There would be a long howl, then silence for a few minutes. My wife heard the sounds first. She thought it was a train. Wow. I pointed out that there were no trains anywhere near where we were. We heard these vocalizations at least 5 times, if not more. I began teasing her that it was Bigfoot. Oh, what a boyfriend. In the back of my mind, I knew it sounded exactly what I had heard in recorded vocalizations. They were in media and online. She thought that stuff was crazy, so I passed it off as a joke. On Sunday, we were packed up and heading home. We stopped at the general store, McNally's, next door to the campground to pick up a cold soda. I was wearing one of my t-shirts depicting a gray alien and Bigfoot sitting around a campfire. Were they making s'mores? Haha. The shopkeeper struck up a conversation with me saying that he liked my shirt. After a few minutes, good way to break ice, right? After a few minutes of small talk, he shared that several campers from the campground next door had come in with stories of hearing a Bigfoot the other night. I had not told my story at the time. He said that he hadn't heard it because he said, when the sun goes down, I go down. I told my wife what had been told to me returning to the RV. She is by nature very skeptical, but exclaimed, I can't believe I heard a Bigfoot. Once we returned home to civilization, I did some research online. I was listening to some recorded vocalizations, and in the middle of one of them, my wife exclaimed, oh my God, that's exactly what we heard. I don't know exactly what it was the Ohio howl, but I feel definitely warrants further investigation in the area. I am aware there's a history of sightings and vocalizations around there. And yeah, that was that. Also noticed I was joking with my wife about it being Bigfoot vocalizations, teasing her a little. But after speaking with the general store shopkeeper on the way home Sunday after listening to some vocalizations recorded on BFRO's site, and I was thinking about it all week, and I'm convinced that is what we heard. All right. Pretty good one there, too. Not too bad. Let's see if we could skip over to... Yes, we could. There it is. Bigfoot Mapping Project. Throw this up again. Yeah, check out some of the gear there. You got mugs, hoodies, all types of other goodies. Get geared up. And we'll get into these California reports. There's a couple way further up north in Washington there, and it looks like over on the border of Washington and Idaho. Let's see. There's a couple more. It looks like one on the border of Tennessee, Texas. Jeez. Nose is getting a little runny there. All right, let's head on into this latest report. Oh, Clear Lake. How about that? That's Lake County. Very familiar with Clear Lake. Okay, my nose a wipey there. Let's check this out. So there's a clear lake there. Reports over on, I guess you would say, what, the southeast end of the lake. There's Lakeport, I believe. And yeah, we passed through there on our way to Harbin Hot Springs. So let's see what this report says. And again, this is the Bigfoot Mapping Project. Peep it out, y'all. I still need to submit my reports. I always have Eric from the Bigfoot Willow Creek Museum in my head telling me to submit it. Gonna do it. So 11/30/20. So this is a 2016er also. It's a throwback. Vocalizations, yes. And it says I was on my back porch one late night in 2016. Not sure of the month, other than it was cold outside. I lived on the outskirts of the city of Clear Lake near Mount wow. We're some themes are coming up here. Here's another Mount Baldy. Near Mount Baldy, a large hill that leads into more empty land and farmland. What kind of farming? I did not see any creature, but I heard the most disturbing and loud whooping and vocalization I have ever heard. Oh. After the noise subsided, I went into my house and don't tell me it was the Ohio Howl, bro. And researched every noise from wild animals known in the area, farm animals, etc. And I could not find a match for that noise anywhere online, but heard something similar in a Bigfoot documentary. Huh. Did not see a Bigfoot, but heard it. Super cool. All right, 2016, Lake County. Oops. I'm going to zoom on out of there and head on up to Humboldt. Oh, yeah, Humboldt County. There's Mendocino. We're going to cruise on over to this dot here. So I did check this out yesterday. It says 8/18/2023, 11:18 a.m. I like how you put the 18, it wasn't 11:20, 11:30. It says heading towards Bernie Falls on Highway 89. And so Bernie Falls, unless there's another one in that area, that's going to be heading over towards Mount Shasta. And beautiful area. We've shown the falls there before. I enjoyed it. Been there once. They say there's fairies there. I'm sure Bigfoot roams around there too and other strange stuff. But yeah, it was a weird moment, that Bernie Falls in my life. And I will not get into it. But would I go back? Yes. And let's get back into the report. Headed down Highway 89 towards Bernie Falls. I had just passed Bartell, and I'm not familiar with Bartell. About 8 minutes before I saw it. At first, I thought it was a man with a large backpack on and hiking poles. Then it stepped onto the highway in front of me. It crossed the highway in about 4 strides. Yep, seen that done before. When it was directly in front of me, I knew it was not a man. Everybody wants to know how tall it was. So let's see, let's read this. It says, not its height. So it's not its height, I think he meant. It was the width of it that shocked me. It was wide as my 2500 truck. Whoa. Now that I had some time to think about its height, I measured the top of my truck and it's 78 inches. That was at its shoulder level. I think it must have weighed around 800 to 1,000 pounds. Yeah. That's what I guesstimated Patty. I was watching something yesterday on Patty and the weight and the prints she left and everything. And I was like, yeah, she's probably like 6 to 8 at the most, I would say. And so pounds, it was truly massive. When I got to the other side of the highway, it turned a 45-degree angle, and that's how, and just I'm reading it how it is. That's how saw its width. So that's how I saw its width, and its arms hung down by its knees. Its knees looked to be located lower than our knees. I have seen a lot of bears, and it was definitely not a bear. This was a life-changing event for me. Oh, yeah. Let's see. It said it was black with what looked like dust on it when it was into the direct sunlight. So it was daytime sighting. Wow. And so this area, it's marked over here. So when I zoomed in on it, let's see. See Redwood National Park there. There's Big Lagoon. And I've talked about this area extensively before. I've found a lot of interest. This is one of my spots, I'll just tell you. And I lived right here in West Haven. So Trinidad, I had my second sighting. West Haven, Trinidad is all right here. Let's see if we could get Trinidad to pop up. There's Trinidad. See, and there's a couple sightings there, Trinidad. So I got to add mine there. And I'd love to read these reports here. Let's see. Sighting. It says sighting there. It's not surprising. And then over on the right side here, you have way over. So it looks close, but it's quiet. There's a lot of hills to go over there. You have Hoopa directly across there. And if you know, you know. Anyway, Bluff Creek should be right above this area here, right near Witchpeck. Right around here, probably where that Bigfoot is. Yellow one there. And yeah, hopefully you were able to see all that I was pointing out. And there you go. Oh, there's Witchpeck Bigfoot. Yeah, interesting, very interesting. A couple of reports there out of Cali. What else is out of Cali? Let's see. Take you to the Bigfoot Mapping Project. Love their site. Oh, yeah, let's see if we could have a look here. Hopefully this doesn't crash the stream. The last few times it kind of did. So we'll do it like this. Can we pull up the Google? So just a heads up, this might end the show, but we're going to give it a shot. All right, let's see here. Can we go? Let's go 3D. Okay, thank you. Reading something there. There we go. Oh, it won't go 3D there, but if we go here, I guess we could. And let's see. I was looking at that report and trying to figure out where some of the roads. I seen a Maple Creek Road in the area. Let's see, where is it? There's Hoopa. Let's go 2D. So there's Trinidad again. So we're going to go inland from there. There's Willow Creek. So it was like a little above here. There's Hoopa. Let's see if that Maple Creek pops up again. Coyote Creek. All types of creeks up in there. A little too high there now. I'm not too high, but anyway, I did a little looking around yesterday. I was able to, according to that map, who knows? Sometimes those reports when I heard Bernie Falls, I was like, oh, is that really a Humboldt County? But maybe he was headed there. All right, cool. Wanted to make sure it didn't crash the stream either. I'll get better with the map there. And we should just head on up to the Redwoods, have a little peek see what Del Norte was looking like today. Before we head on out. There it is. Let's refresh. Check out some zooms and some pans, some zooms and pans. I got more to share actually. Let's see, where are we into this? Oh my goodness, we're an hour in. Wow. Yeah, we're in Squatch Watch here. You never know. We'll see. I was going to get into some videos from the trip and all that, but I guess we could do that on the live. The live, we'll see. I was going to do that earlier today. Monday I had off. I was going to do it, but just wasn't. I was feeling it and wasn't feeling it. Feeling it, wasn't feeling it. And right now I'm feeling it, but recording it. And hopefully this turns out pretty good. We'll see. I hope I pressed all the right buttons. Hopefully not yours, but yeah, you know me and my love for redwoods. I mean, when I could just take a look at their live feed here, it brings me joy. Hopefully it does to you as well. Yeah, let's see. Hopefully we didn't get in trouble for this. I'm going to go ahead and share this. This was a share. Someone dear to me shared this. It was on TV, and there's smaller folk involved, so I know that's can get a little sensitive, but it's on TV, and it's a joke. Hopefully no one gets offended. All right, I'll take a little quick peek here, see if anything peeking at us. But yeah, we'll get into some of these other shares on a later date. I did not too bad. I'm surprised an hour flew by. That was pretty quick. Hopefully it wasn't too boring, maybe a little informative. Get a little eye candy. I don't think could head over to Mount Shasta. There we go, a little zoomage there. Too bad it didn't zoom into the forest. All right, let's head on out of the redwoods, make a quick little stop. Let's head on over to Shasta. Can we? Yeah, look, this is what Shasta's looking like right now. Oh. It's looking pretty funky. I guess we'll skip that. Oh, there we are. Yeah, can't see much at all. So, here we go. Could we get Do we have a drum roll? I think we have a drum roll. Yes, we do. All right, here we go. We drum roll again. Oh man, y'all hear that one? Where's my how do we, yeah. Let's jump into a little bumper here. Okay. We're going to wind it down now. Hopefully that gave you a little chuckle. We all love, you know who you're supposed to love first, and then everything else comes after that. This is another funny one, I thought. Downtown LA.
In a parole hearing, we've all been thought to think that just keeping an eye on some of the folks walking through here at night in downtown LA. In any event, when you talk about the parole, you always think about whether they're going to be asking a lot of questions.
Gotta watch that. Watch that back. Watch that 6. Never know, especially downtown LA. Oof. Yeah, so I won't get into that darker news. Oh, yeah. Let's get into this other stuff. You know, we've talked about the sobering coincidence cases, the people found in bodies of water. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's these strange cases. Just look up Lady Bird Lake. It's one of the hot spots right now where this has been happening at, and not far from. So Lady Bird that's in Houston, I believe, right? Oh no, that's in is it Austin? Yeah. But now in Houston, let's see here. We'll pull this up really quick. It seems like a similar situation is going on there. There's been I think 13 or 14 bodies found now in these bayous. And there's been a recent one, and it's just smelling really fishy. And so anyone in that area, be aware. And it's very similar to the Lady Bird Lake stuff, where they're wanting people to, or the town there, the city there, to put cameras down by these areas, and they're not doing it. And is there people getting roofied and stuff, because a lot of them are leaving bars. And so there it is, another dead body was found in a Houston bayou, marking the 6th in less than 2 weeks. And then for the whole year, I think they're at 13, 14. And some pretty scary stuff. And if you want to, the 411 on the Lady Bird Lake stuff, there's a good documentary done by what is it? It's Conspiracy Files on YouTube. Look up their Lady Bird Lake episode, and you'll see what yeah, we got a 1111 there. You'll see some in-depth details there. Actually, the guy Colin, actually one of his friends, someone really close to him, became a victim. That's how deep that got there. Got pretty personal for him. and he does pretty good documentaries on stuff. He goes pretty deep on stuff, so I would recommend that. And yeah, so could this be the same situation happening there? Keeping an eye on that. Some other stuff we had brought up earlier in the year, still haven't heard any updates. And if any of that does pop up, I will bring it to you. Or, if you hear something that we talked about in the past or something that you think we'd be interested in, let us know. I'm super interested. Hard to keep up. Hard to keep up. Hard to catch up. What was I trying to say? Anyway, before we head on out, let's shoot on over to see if we could show this. I was talking about California Bigfoot reports and just Bigfoot Society had just put up a video. Actually, Dr. Meldrum, he did a little like tribute to him, threw up an old interview with some extra stuff that was actually for members over on his channel. You see that there, right there. That was a good one. I didn't know Meldrum was a Trekkie. That was pretty cool to find out. And he shared quite a bit there in that interview. They get into a what was it, a UFO sighting and a ghost encounter. Who would have thought? But anyway, this is the other one, Bigfoot Society, Secrets of the Hoopa. And that interview, there's several interviews like his other videos from other places. But if you go towards the end of that interview, yeah, they interview a local from Hoopa, and it was a good one. And I've been hearing more and more people from Hoopa on different podcasts and getting interviewed and stuff. And it's super cool to hear that their side of things pertaining to Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And so, yeah, some more content for you there. Hope you enjoyed our little stream today. Or it wasn't a stream. I guess our premiere. Hopefully we'll be premiering this in a few hours. And yeah, share your posts, folks. Remember, you could share. We've had a couple of people share a few things. And I'm noticing more channels starting to share their posts with their fans and their subscribers. This was a good one. I'm going to analyze this. Strange lights. All right, let's get our outros ready here. Boom. That was fun. Make sure I don't have it. Oh, yeah, they did have something pulled up. Let's do that. I do have the Conspiracy File channel pulled up. I might as well, whoops. Might as well share that too. And there that is. There's an active serial killer in Austin. 20 plus men dead in Lady Bird Lake. There it is. Paranormal Files. And yeah, hope to do a live soon. And this was pretty fun. Let's get us audio here. All right, one love, y'all. Y'all be safe. Take care. Share the channel. Tickle the algorithm for us. Check out the shop. Make sure you shop. Helps us out. And here we go. We out. Bye.